So hello guys, today we are going to talk about the compressor and the compression. So I'm going to use the Pro C2, but you can also use the Fruity compressor, the stock plugin. I'm going to use the Pro C2 because it's more graphic and I can explain it better to you. So let's get to the knobs. The most important knob is the threshold. It's basically, I have here a recording of myself. Yeah,
La la
saying la la la, so that's perfect.
la 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 la.
As you can hear, some parts are quieter, some parts are louder. And what the compressor does, it adjusts the dynamic range of the signal. So what does that mean? It adjusts the dynamic range is the difference between the quietest sound and the loudest sound of a signal. So it's basically making the louder parts of the signal quieter and the quieter parts of the signal louder. So the threshold, what is it? The threshold is basically the knob that allows the signal. So if the signal is going above this line, so this is the threshold line, it's going to be affected by the compressor. If it's not getting above this line, so like right now,
La 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 la.
So even though the signal is going through the compressor, it's not getting affected because the threshold is too high. So this would mean if we reduce the threshold, and now, as you can see, the signal is coming through. So if the signal is over the threshold, the compressor starts to work. If it's under the threshold, it's not working. So the compressor does nothing. So the next knob is the ratio. We have 4:1. That would mean that if the signal is getting over the threshold, the ratio adjusts how much of the signal that is getting through is getting reduced. So this would mean 4:1 would mean that 3/4 of the signal are getting reduced and 1/4 is going to be left. That would also mean that if we have a ratio 2:1, that would mean that half of the signal that is going over the threshold line is going to be reduced. So we have only half of the signal left. If the ratio is higher, the reduction is going to be harder, of course, because it's always going to be left less of the signal, because 8:1, then 7/8 of the signal are going to be gone, and 1/8 of the signal is going to be here. And if you have 2:1, you are going to have half of the signal that is over the threshold. So the next one, we have the attack. The attack is important because if you are, if the signal is going above the threshold, like now, and the attack determines basically how fast you are letting the compressor to work. So how much time you are giving him to work before he starts working. So that would mean if the attack is very fast, the compressor is going to work instantly. So if the signal is getting through, it works instantly. But if we are putting it very high, the compressor won't do anything for a longer period of time, because you're giving him 250 milliseconds before he's allowed to start working. And that's important if you want, for example, if you have a drum loop and you want to if you have a drum loop and you want to have a keep the transients, so the transients are basically these peaks here, then you would have to put it higher, the attack, because if you won't do it, as you can see, the peaks and the transients are getting through right now. So it's basically those clicks that you hear. But if you reduce the attack, so we make it faster, you won't hear those clicks anymore that good, and the transients will be gone. As you can see, those little transients are gone, and now they are back, as you can see. So yeah, the next thing we have to talk about is the release knob. The release knob basically is the opposite of the attack knob. It determines how long the compressor should continue to work after the signal drops below the threshold. So this means if we have the signal and it drops below this line, how long should the compressor continue to work? So if we have a low release, it stops kind of instantly. I mean, 10 milliseconds, it's pretty fast. If we put it on a high setting, this would mean that if it drops under the threshold, even if the signal drops under the threshold, the compressor will still work for 600 milliseconds in this instance. So this makes a more gradual, like the compressor will work more gradually. It will let go more gradually, so it's not that abrupt. Yeah, so the next knob is the wet gain. The wet gain is important because if we are going to use a compressor, we are going to lose a lot of volume. If we are going to lose a lot of volume, we would like to get it back. I mean, why we are losing the volume? Because we are essentially reducing those louder parts of the signal to the lower parts, so we have it more even. If we have it more even, we are going obviously to lose some volume here because it's going to be even. And we can get this volume back with this wet gain knob. So yeah, I can show you quickly what I mean by this. As you can see, without the compressor, it's going above 9, above 6 sometimes, like here. And if we put it on, now we are now we are at minus 15 dB. So if you want to gain this volume back, we can adjust this wet gain knob, and as you can see, we are much louder now. So now it's basically more even and louder. So the next the next knob is the knee. I mean, it's more of a slider here. The knee is basically not that important. You can use it sometimes. I mean, it's a very it doesn't change that much, to be honest with you. I hardly ever use it. It's basically so the compressor, it makes the compression more gradual. So if the if the knee is on the soft side, it's very gradual, the transition to the compression, and if it's hard, it's more abrupt. So yeah, as I said, you are not going to use it very often. So the next knob is the dry gain. I mean, the dry gain, you can use it to adjust the volume of the signal before it enters the compressor. So this can sometimes be useful if you if the signal is not loud enough. I mean, if it's not loud enough, you should record it again, but that's for another video, because you will have you could have a lot of noise in the recording and then you're making it louder. So that's could be problematic, but it doesn't matter. That's for another recording. So yeah, I mean, the sidechain compression I will explain in another video. Here we have some styles. That's not usually on a compressor. I mean, the Pro C2 has those extra settings here. It's basically, yeah, as you can see, this might work better for vocals. This might work better for mastering, for punchy drums, and so on. So you can experiment with this. I, for example, sometimes I use the punch one if I'm if I use sidechain compression. So it works a little bit faster, but as I said, I will explain sidechain compression in another video. So yeah, here we have the bypass knob again. So it's we can we can hear the difference. If it's on and off. So yeah, that's one thing. And yeah, here we have oversampling. I will also explain it in another video. Here we have AB, so we can have two settings. We can also copy those settings. Here we have some presets, and here we have help. Here we have the full screen. That's also pretty cool. And here we can undo things. So yeah, and one thing the last thing that I wanted to tell you, if we consolidate this track, as you can see here, we achieved our result that we wanted to have, because the louder parts got quieter. So the audio signal is more even now. So that's what we wanted, as I said. That's what we want from a compressor and from compression as a whole. Yeah, like I said, I used Pro C2 and not the Fruity compressor to explain all of this, because it's more graphic. But here you have exactly the same knobs. You would just have to use your ears more, because here you can see it, what the compressor is doing. Here you only can hear it, of course. But yeah, threshold, ratio, gain. The gain is the wet gain in this case. attack, release, and here are some types of compression. It's kind of the same like here, the style. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you like this guide and want to learn more about compressors and how they work, check out my in-depth ebook guide in the description if you want to. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.